Welcome everyone to episode 14 of Footy and That. My name is Chris. How are you, Sam and Al? You both all right, mate?
Good, thanks, mate.
Good. So today we are mainly previewing the Premier League, a bit of an alternative view of it, I thought we'll do today. But before that, we've got to talk about obviously what's happened last week. So we'll start with the Championship. So West Ham drawing and Wolves drawing are two main tips. Mm-hmm. Did that surprise you at all with those two results? I'll be honest with you, it didn't at all with me because they never start well, do you? Yeah. Your favourites never start well in the first game, and it's a bit of potluck on how it all goes. Al, what did you think?
I think with West Ham, they played, was it Burnley?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
So it was never going to be an easy game. And I think, Burnley came back and got the draw right at the end. As you say, it's first game of the season. It's such a long season in the Championship. It's 46 games. So I still think West Ham will walk away with it easily. I can't see them being an issue. I'd even put a bet on them getting 100 points. I think that they've not lost too many good players to not be able to walk that league, to be honest.
They bought that Celtic player, haven't they, as well? Engels.
Yeah.
And he was a starter.
Is it the most expensive Championship signing or something?
Yeah.
I
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they'd be a bit gutted, I think, with conceding the two late goals. But I think if you said to them before the match, you get a point, I'm sure they would have been happy about that. I think it's just the way that they lost a 2-0 lead might be a bit annoying. But, I mean, I watched a little bit of the game, and that Solomon looks like he's too good for the Championship, to be honest. But and obviously Bowen was just, played quite a good game, as well. Did you see any of that, Sam?
I did. I think, to be honest, Burnley were probably the better team, but found themselves 2-0 down. So maybe Burnley are a bit more competitive than people might think they would have been. It looked like it was the best team found themselves 2-0 down, so I stopped watching and then did the washing up and come back, and it was like, it's 2-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, about turnarounds, that's what happened with Wolves Blackburn, wasn't it? Wolves, I think, were 1-0 up, looked quite comfortable, and then had to get an injury time penalty, I think, by Jimenez.
Yeah. And that's a home, isn't it?
Might have been outside the box. It's like a handball, and it's just
questionable. What do you say there, Alistair?
I was saying it's finding your feet in a new league, isn't it? When you either when you're promoted or when you drop down a division, it's finding your feet. Those first few games is just a sort of different play. It's different intensity, isn't it? So
nice little segue there with Lincoln as well. They almost snatched, got a point, but unfortunately conceded very, very late on against Middlesbrough.
They went 1-0 up as well, didn't they? So
yeah,
I think they had a. Go on, sorry, Al.
I was going to say I had a free bet on Sky. I think it's Sky Bet that I'm on, and I put Lincoln to lose and another team to lose, and won on it. So didn't mind Lincoln losing, even though I'd like Lincoln to do well. So it'd be nice for them to do well to stay up. But
I think they even had a second goal disallowed, and I think that was a little bit controversial as well.
Yeah.
And then obviously go quickly just to Division 1. And the one I mainly saw, don't worry, Sam, we're not going to go quite to Leicester yet. That was quite funny, though, I must admit, some bits in that. But that was, I don't know if you saw the Reading-Luton game, really. Reading were 3-1 up at half-time at home. And Luton ended up winning 4-3.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. Nice little start for Jack Wilshere. Well, Leicester then. Did you watch the game or did you travel?
No, I did watch the game. Yeah.
What was your overall thoughts on it? I thought it was a bit lackluster, but
I think a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, the first 10 minutes was pretty shambolic, really. I guess you've seen the bit where McCarthy clears the ball, that guy blocks it, and it hits the crossbar, and that would have been. But then after that, for the rest of the half, I thought we were pretty dominant. But then second half, they were probably the better team. 1-1. And I think they'd probably be a bit disappointed in some ways not to win it, because they were probably a better team for more of the game, I would have said. But at the same time, they didn't score until 80 minutes. So, and
What was
Souttar's
Harry
doing,
Schuster doing though?
I
on
don't
that?
know.
He
I was,
for
Yeah.
Al probably didn't see it, but the ball, the guy took the shot and he put his arm up for offside, and the ball literally almost rolled sort of near
Yeah.
him. Didn't it? The
he's kind of
rebound.
doing it twice, isn't he? So he
Yeah.
puts his arm up when the cross comes in, which is, you understand him, and you're trying to catch him offside. The guy heads it off the post, but then instead of reacting to it, he just stands there again with his arm up, and their guy just has one guy to beat, and he pops it in nice. And if Suter just turns around, and he probably just clears the ball. But oh well.
I mean, it's a point's a point. It's a good start. As in, not it's an okay start, I should say. But were you happy with the tactics by Martin, or do you think you need? I know it's only one game.
I
but
mean, it's like, I don't know how much of it is the players not following the instructions right, because he said something about playing people into trouble and stuff like that. So, everyone thinks like the manager wants you to play out from the back, but maybe a lot of managers like, I want you to play out from the back, but don't be stupid with it.
yeah.
But again, I don't know. It's one game. Who knows?
I think a lot of people read too much into like opening games of the season or the first few games. I know we're probably going to talk about the Community Shield at some point, but people are going mental about that, going, "Oh, Man City have lost it. They're done now. Arsenal are going to walk the league." That's one game. It's a glorified friendly. Like I don't watch the Community Shield at all. I don't think I've watched it for years. But it's never it's never massively competitive, because no one wants to get injured the first game of the season.
Well, we'll move on to that in a minute. Yeah, exactly. But exactly for that reason, I think the first game as well, you come out with some crazy results as well that a lot of people don't expect to happen, and then suddenly there's massive amounts of pressure put on managers. Just going back to Leicester, I'm sure Russell Martin's now feeling a lot of people might be even breathing down his neck for just getting a draw, because everyone expects Leicester just to walk through everyone.
Yeah.
Not concede a goal, but it isn't going to always happen like that. There's always going to be bumps in the road.
I kind of hope I'm wrong, but from what I've seen so far, and it's only 2 because I saw them last week in the cup, it's like we certainly don't look like we're going to walk it. I don't think. But
I just think you got the wrong style of manager. I would have always said personally to go on with Christian Fuchs. Someone young and who's got that hunger. I'm not saying Martin hasn't, but just a bit different, But
it's also, I don't know how true it is, but I've heard League One is like the teams that do well are a bit more sort of like physical,
stylish,
up and at 'em, direct. But I think Cardiff were pretty sort of like possession heavy last year, and they finished second. So, and they look I saw them Monday night. They were quite good as well.
Yeah. They got that Lincoln player, ex-Lincoln player. He looked quite good, Moylan. But anyway, just obviously going just briefly to Division 1. So I think Sheff Wednesday won as well.
Yeah,
Huddersfield won. So all our tips to be up there have all started off quite well.
Plymouth lost though. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then just really the main result on Division 2, because obviously I looked after we had the podcast last week, and saw Salford were massively favourites, but they lost away. I think 3-1 to Barnet. So it just shows they're favourites and they've lost. Bit of pressure on them. But we'll move swiftly on to the Community Shield, like what Al said. So I was surprised to see the result 3-0, but like ours just literally took out the words out of my mouth. It is only just one step up from a friendly, in my opinion. If you probably look at what the results are from a lot of the Community Shields, I think the person that wins the Community Shield doesn't necessarily win the league.
Yeah.
I thought 3-0 is a fantastic result for Arsenal, but I wouldn't worry too much if I was Man City. That would be my personal opinion for two reasons. Obviously, we will be chatting about Rodri again. He's gone, but they'll have the money to bring in, they're looking at Enzo Fernandez. That's not going to just go away just because of that stupid time frame that Chelsea set. They'll still be in there to get rid of him if they want to get rid of him, which I think will probably happen before the end of the window, in my opinion. And then that will show up their midfield. That's what Man City do, to be honest, isn't it? They always just bring in someone. They were leaking a bit in defence last year, so they brought in Mark Gahey. That's just what they do, isn't it? Al, what was your opinion overall from everything? And also, well done to Arsenal for playing really well.
Arsenal. I saw the highlights of it. Arsenal did look good. Odegaard looked really good, which was he struggled last season. I think he was injured, whatever it wasn't it. And Arsenal don't really need to do a lot, like transfer wise. Now they're kind of, they may be still looking at a striker, because I think there was rumours that Gyökeres was looking to go to Barcelona, which is I just don't think that'll happen. And they wanted to get Alvarez, didn't they? But he wants to go Barcelona, and they're looking at Osimhen. So I still think Arsenal are probably a world-class striker short. Everything else is there. Everything else for Arsenal. You can't fault any other part of the pitch for Arsenal. Left wing last season, but they brought in this new guy. I can't remember his name. But he started at the weekend. He looked good. So, yeah. As you say, Man City fans, there's no need to worry. They are still one of the best teams. They've got such a good squad, and there'll be movement in the transfer window before the end, I'm sure. So, yeah, I think it could be it'd be a good season for both teams.
So, anything to add?
I think if Man City don't improve their midfield, I think they could be in trouble. But like you said, they're probably going to get Fernandez, and I think they might get named Bouardi. He was like the guy playing sort of central midfield for Morocco. So if they get those two, that could revitalise the midfield. Losing Bernardo and Rodri, that's a lot of experience they've lost in their central midfield, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
They did buy Anderson for 100 million or whatever. So
yeah, I think Anderson was probably thinking that he was going to be playing with Rodri in midfield. And that rug was thrown off him a bit, and now he's the main defensive midfielder, or whatever you want to say, number 5, isn't he? He's got 5 or 6. So yeah, that's what I thought anyway. I thought nothing much to really sort of worry. It's bad losing 3-0, but like you said, it's just a glorified friendly, really. As well as Arsenal played, I don't want Arsenal fans to be too sort of cocky, because I think we'll be obviously discussing this more, but I think it's going to be a really tight year this year. One of the tightest for a long time. But before we do talk about that, we will talk about the Rodri move to Barcelona. What do you reckon to that then? Now it's been confirmed, 61 million. I didn't think that's quite a lot of money, really. I would have thought they might have hung on a bit more. 51 mil up front, 10 mil add-ons.
Well, when you look in that position, like over the last few years, the players that have gone for the money, and let's not forget that Rodri won a Ballon d'Or. He is one of the best midfielders in the world. So it does seem quite cheap for a player of his ability, especially when you look at the players who are in the midfield that have gone this summer for staggering amounts of money. And, Man United are on the cusp of signing Belieber for 65 million.
Yeah, that's on the list.
He was awful last season for Brighton. There was prices for him last summer were like 100 million odd that they were going to accept. And then it looked like they were just trying to get rid this summer
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
you look at Bruno. You look at Bruno. He's gone for 75.
Yeah. You know,
It's a very
Anderson
strange.
over 115. It's crazy money when there's players like. It's what I never understand is sometimes you'll get these mad transfers and then you'll get one like a Rodri who goes for what we'd consider now sort of sensible, good money for a player that you think, bloody hell, it's just like that Manchester City team will not be the same without him. But you look at Brighton will be fine without Belieber. You know, Forest will probably be all right without Anderson. It's mad. Tonali, 100 million. and Fernandez going to Tottenham for 85 million. These are mad money for players that were playing. One team was relegated, the other came in 12th. They didn't have good seasons last season, whereas Rodri had a great season and a great World Cup.
And obviously, you got to remember as well, Fernandez, like, I don't know if you just said 80 million.
Yeah.
He relegated 2 clubs. Well, he didn't.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he was
part of it.
Yeah. And, you know, I know it's not his fault, but and then you got Rodri for sort of a quarter of that price. It's just, to me, it seems great business by Barcelona. And obviously they got the player on side. I mean, if they normally sniff around the player normally sort of pushes for the move, don't they? And that's how they get the deal, I guess. Anything
you kind of wonder whether he's gone in and said, you know, I want to go to Barca.
I think so,
and Man City have kind of gone, okay, well, if we get this for you, then, you know, because you've done all this for us, you've been with us for a while. You kind of think.
I think it's Man City sort of somewhat doing him a favour. Not really. Obviously, they're still getting a decent amount of money for him because he's quite old, isn't he? So, but I guess they just sort of, you know, you've been loyal to us. You've been a great servant to us, and we'll let you have this move as long as we can get a pretty, you know, in a pretty good fee considering. Is he 29, 30, something like that?
He's 30.
And he's coming off a few years of sort of like quite long-term injury. So
I think as well, like Man City know that they can replace. They know that you know, they can go out and there aren't many players that are going to turn down and move to Man City. It's not like
also I don't know what his contract situation was, but I guess if he only had like maybe a year left, then it's sort of like, well, let's just get it, you know, get some money for him. He's going to leave at the end of his contract anyway, so.
I mean,
because he was going to go to Real, wasn't it? They sort of what it seemed like. You know, they were the ones who sort of like started the whole process, and then Barcelona sort of like nipped in and got him instead.
Yeah, I mean, you look at sort of Barcelona's midfield; it's terrible, isn't it? Gavi, sorry, Javi's about 20 years. Well, he's still going out there.
He could probably still do a job, to be fair.
Javi, Iniesta, no, Gavi, Pedri, De Jong, and Rodri. I mean, that's not bad, is it? To be fair, to go off. Obviously, about Man City, the Reinders has gone as well, and he was obviously heavily linked with Forest, but he's decided a move, which I feel always a bit sad when they go to Saudi team, because I thought he's quite a good player. And he's gone for 52 mil.
Yeah.
And apparently they're sniffing around Adam Walton, Palace's own, for a replacement, which I feel sorry for Palace at this late stage if they're going to try and nab him now. But these things are normally a bit sort of, they know about it weeks in advance. It's not like,
I think if you're Palace, you just say, nah. What, unless they come up with something that's just stupid money, you just say no. Because they've lost too many players. You know, they've sold, was it Lacroix? That's probably them. Like, we've sold Lacroix. We don't need to sell anyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, they sold Gahey, didn't they, as well? And Man City paid the money when I think he was going to go on a free in the summer anyway. And he turned down Liverpool, didn't he, in the summer? Am I right?
Yeah.
Or
I think it wasn't. I thought Palace pulled the plug, wasn't it?
I think it might have been Palace.
Yeah, because it was right near the end of the window, wasn't it? And they didn't have. Weren't they trying to get a player in, and that broke down? So they cancelled the Gahey one. fair play to Gay. He went back and he played.
Yeah.
Didn't kick a but he never kicked up a fuss about that. And you got to really respect a player for doing that because there's so many that do. Alexander Isak.
Well, I was quite let down that Isak didn't turn up at the training ground like Peter Origi did.
He barely
those
turned
days.
up at our training ground.
He didn't in that summer. He was on strike, wasn't he?
Mm.
Took the Pierre Van Hooydonk way, as I call it. Yeah, so Reinders has left, which again is a bit sad. He started well, but he sort of fizzled out the team, didn't he, near the end of the year? So
Yeah, he started really well.
fell a bit out of favour, but I think they made some good money out of him. And then one transfer story that has just really, shocked me a bit, and that's Konza to Arsenal.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on that, Al?
I've been reading a lot about sort of the transfers this summer with a lot of the big six taking the players off of everybody. And I feel really sorry for Aston Villa because, I mean, it's happened to Newcastle, but we were awful last season. So, a lot of these players were going to go because they want to go and play Champions League football or they want to go and play for Tottenham. Or apparently not. Apparently he wants to go back to Italy, but anyway. Good luck with that, Tottenham fans.
But it just went via London.
Yeah, he's gone via London.
So it's
He probably does. He wants to go to Italy, but no one in Italy's could pay 100
They couldn't
million
afford
for
him.
No.
But when you look at play like Villa last season, winning the Europa League, so in the Champions League, they also finished fifth last season, fifth last season.
Yeah.
So they did really well. Like for a team that PSR or whatever the new thing's called, they did so well, and now their first team has been picked apart.
Yeah.
So they've already lost Watkins. They're going to lose Konza. It looks like they're going to lose Ollie Watkins as well. Apparently, he's going to go to Saudi as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Martinez is apparently Tottenham are after him now. I read this afternoon. But then I think that was always one that was going to go. But you just kind of feel Tielemans as well has gone to Man United. How is it? How is this happening? I just don't. It's just not. It doesn't seem fair. And I read something earlier which I found quite amusing, which was you can win a European trophy and you can get into the Champions League, but the team that sells more tickets for Beyonce can spend more money than you, because Tottenham can have Beyonce perform and that gives them more money to be able to spend on players. You look at, I just think it's so unfair on teams like that, and it is keeping everyone down, and it's so frustrating as a fan. Like, I go into the seasons now, like when we got taken over and I thought, we're going to be able to spend money. I go into season now just thinking mid-table maybe, and there's no point thinking above that anymore as a fan. And I think for Aston Villa this season, it could be a really tricky one because they've lost a lot of good players, and they must be thinking, well, this isn't fair, and it's more on them than anybody else over the last few years, I think.
I feel that Konza, he will obviously start while Saliba's injured. But then, obviously, they've got quite a lot now, strength in depth everywhere, Arsenal have. So how are they going to keep him happy after that? Because 50 million to me doesn't seem like a hell of a lot. And I just feel that I'm not being bad to him. I don't really know him, sort of personally or anything, but Emery really sort of brought him through, didn't he? He came from Brentford and he really pushed him to another level. And obviously he's now England international. I just think that, again, at this time in the window, it sort of doesn't leave Villa with much chance to sort of get anyone or look at anyone without them going, well, we know you got that 50 million there. We're going to raise our value on our players. So I just feel like they've been a bit shafted, to be fair. It just seems a bit like that. Anything there to add, Sam?
No, I think I would put it. It's sort of like it does seem teams like Villa and Newcastle. There's only so far you can get, and then there's also someone was saying something about if you're in Europe, it's even harder because you've got a more stringent cost loss balance
Yeah.
or whatever you got to do with your squad. So you actually have to be even more tight with your wage bill if you're in Europe than if you're not. So I guess Villa have just had to be like, well, we've gone, you know. But again, with Konsa, I think he is a London boy, so maybe he's an Arsenal fan. I don't know. Maybe he's friends with. I think he might be friends with Saka or Eze. I'm sure I heard something like that. He's good friends with one of those two or something. But
I think it's
I
just
mean,
gonna
Villa
get-
seem to
Sorry, Sam.
Villa seem to have brought a few sort of like youngsters in. Like I saw a thing, and it was like the youngsters to look out for, and 3 of them were Villa players. So
Mm.
maybe that's just what you got to do if you're Villa, or you just got to keep refreshing and hope you can. But then again, it's at what point can you break into the top 6 and stay there? Because, like you say, they just make so much money, those teams.
I don't think
'Cause
you can though.
Yeah,
I don't think you can now, and I think
no,
you kind of worry that it's going to turn a lot of fans away. Like I've lost interest in it. As like this season, I've got no interest going into the season. I've not got as much interest in as I had last season or the season before, because it's just getting to the point now. I just think, well, what's the point? Like you're going to be a mid-table team, and at least if you get if we get relegated this season, oh, brilliant, because we've got a chance in the Championship to win a trophy or start winning games, rather than just go, well, mid-table. Everyone's fighting out for mid-table, aren't they? Really, or to avoid relegation now. I just think, and you look at teams like Everton, who, Everton are always one of those teams. I think that if they were given the chance to spend, they've got that really decent, really big stadium now. They've got the money there, but they can't spend it. And you think it's another team that years ago they were challenging for sort of like Europe and stuff, but now, as an Everton fan, do you just kind of think, well, do beat Liverpool? This next season, the thing for Newcastle is, can we beat Sunderland? That's pretty much it. Like, there's not can we get into Europe? Can we win a trophy? Like, you might win a League Cup, but you ain't getting into the Champions League unless you've got the money, or you might sneak in. But you sneak in, you do it one season, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Then the next season, then you're screwed over because you can't afford to bring in enough players to have, two starting 11, so you can deal with the Champions League, playing on a Wednesday and playing on a Saturday. It's not viable for us lower teams.
Yeah, true. Moving on then. So you mentioned about Carlos Balibama. Anything else tried about him, or do you think 65 mil is a little bit steep?
Do you Mark Goldridge? Have you heard of Mark Goldridge, the Man United fan?
Yeah.
He's doing a new show with Wayne Rooney, and he was talking. I sometimes watch some of his stuff because he's quite funny, and he was saying, I've got a really bad feeling that we're going to sign Believer towards the end of the window, and it'll be one of those where it's just, we need to get another centre midfielder in, and we'll get him, and then it's happened. And it's such that Man United midfield is a strange midfield. It feels like it doesn't feel like a Man United midfield. Whereas apart from Fernandes, who has turned down another contract, £500,000 a week, he's turned that down. Apart from him, there's not a world-class player in that midfield. And you go back 10 years and you look at the kind of players that they had. It's an unusual.
I would definitely have not put on my bingo card that they were going to buy. Obviously, they were going to buy 2 midfielders. That's fine, but I wouldn't have ever put Yuri Tillemans and Andre Santos as the 2 they were going to pick. It might work out well. Yeah, it might work out really well for them, but Tillemans especially just seems a very odd one. Like you say, it might work out really well for them, but I just think that the arrival of Balibar, I don't know whether that, and for that amount of money, it's a lot of money for someone who really didn't play too much football last year for Brighton. I think he started quite a lot of the games, but
He's injured now, though, isn't he?
No.
He's not going to make the start of the season for ankle injury or something.
so there we go. Right, FIFA, the little the story continues. So FIFA
Family-run company.
yeah. So FIFA formally sacked Chief Operating Officer Kevin Lamar. Lamar's departure followed his sharp public criticism of Giovanni Infantino's controversial plan to sell off proportions of the extended UEFA World Cup to private investors. Well, that's a big surprise, isn't it? So obviously the guy doesn't like someone might be having a different opinion to him.
No.
So I'm sure there's going to be more, as they say, more legs in the story yet with regards to that. Liverpool then. So I'm disappointed with this, that they're letting Curtis Jones go. 30 million to Inter. I think, again, fantastic business by Inter. I think if they're going to sell him, it should have been a lot more. Just disappointed. I guess he wants first team football and he's going to struggle to get it at Liverpool. But I always thought he was a very good, safe pair of hands to have in case there's a long-term injury somewhere. And for a couple of seasons ago, I thought he was going to push right into the starting 11 a lot more often at Liverpool. But then obviously certain things happened. I think McAllister's arrival and Gravenbach as well. I think that's the one that's really knocked him down. It's obviously caused him not to wanting a move away. I mean, what do you feel about that, Al?
Yeah, it's a weird one because Liverpool haven't really strengthened in that area over the summer. Was Curtis Jones the one that was on loan to Villa last season?
No, that's Harvey Elliott.
That was Harvey Elliott, sorry. Yeah, so unless because Harvey Elliott's back, they're thinking, well, we'll put him a little bit more in, or if they're looking at buying someone in. But I don't think they've bought a midfielder this summer, have they?
No, they haven't.
No, so yeah, I suppose it's getting the money for him. You know, Inter Milan. It'd be a good. I always like to see like English players go abroad, play abroad, because we don't have that many. You know, sometimes it really works out. You look at like Bellingham, you look at Kane. You don't look at Jonathan Woodgate when he went abroad. But like I always quite like to see the English players go and play abroad somewhere because you know you hear about how they're getting on and if they do really well, and you know with a player like Curtis Jones, could it maybe push him forwards to getting in the England squad? You know, if he's playing consistently, as you say, a few seasons ago he looked really good for Liverpool. So you know, good transfer for him, good transfer for Inter Milan.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Konza. He went to Leverkusen and then he broke through, didn't he? So
yeah,
that's fine. Sam, anything to add, mate?
It's just a shame when a local player has gone through the youth team, you end up selling them because you kind of always want a couple in your squad. But I think there's been weird things, wasn't he? He had a bit of a meltdown or something in one of the friendlies because he didn't get the captain armband or something when the player came off.
It sounded like that. Something very odd happened between him and Szoboszlai, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai. But yeah, he didn't. It seemed to have been no, I don't think it was. Was it someone like Kirkes? Actually thinking about it.
From what I heard, it was maybe just a mistake. Like,
yeah,
whoever had the armband just gave it to someone without thinking, and maybe Curtis has got. He's not really been that regular last season, was he?
No,
or was it? Yes.
Yeah, it's a shame.
At some point, I suppose you're like, I want to play 25, 30 games regularly a season or more. So
yeah, and that's it. That's it.
they can book it as pure profit though, because he's a youth player, so they get all that.
Well,
30
that's how
million you can have,
that's how
so-
they look at it. Yeah, exactly that. On here it says, from what I read this week, that Harry Kane rejected a move to Saudi.
85 million a year. Apparently, he was going to get.
And he's reporting on an extension at Bayern. So fair play to him on that.
Good.
And the clown show. I mean, the normal Chelsea business deals that Bowley's now looking at selling his stake in the club, isn't he? So
Yeah.
that could be quite interesting to see how that ends up being. I think he's looking at the same amount that Liverpool have recently sold some of their shares to, what's his name?
Bezos.
Yeah. And they wanted a similar sort of amount, which I think they're slightly off there. I think then they got to look a bit less than
I
that.
don't think Liverpool have the debt Chelsea have got.
Exactly. I think that's one of the main points. Final point, which I'm sure you guys know about, and that's Paul Pogba. So he's become a free agent again. Only lasted one season at Monaco. It's been a bit of a waste.
League One.
Been a bit of a well. I don't know whether you'd want him, mate. I think
probably not.
Only played 6 times last year, so after his ban, such a waste of a career. I think he, at his peak, he was a really good player at Juventus, wasn't he? And he won the World. And he won the World Cup whilst he was a Man U player, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said some really nice things though, didn't he? When he left Monaco, and he was like, they'll always have a place in his heart because they gave him the opportunity to get back on the pitch, and it was really nice of what he'd said, considering like his contract's been cancelled. You'd think he could have gone idiots or whatever, but what he said was really nice, and I hope he does come back because, as you say, he was such a talented player, such a good player, and it'd be nice to see that he comes back, and he might end up going. I don't know whether Saudi would get him because he's not particularly played that much, but maybe in America or something like that, he could potentially go and do a job in America. He's only 31, isn't he?
33.
30. Oh, 33.
But you got to remember, Defoe went over to America, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he came back to the UK. So
what Pogba needs? He needs a season in the Scottish Premier League for a Celtic or a Rangers.
You know what he needs? A season in the Scottish Premier League at Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're talking about, guys.
He would be brilliant in Scotland. He'd tear it up.
That would be amazing. Hearts won, by the way. They won in the cup about 6-2. They beat Inverness. And Rangers won 5-1 as well.
Oh.
So they're back on the track.
Title's back on.
Indeed, mate, indeed. So that nicely puts us then to the Premier League. Are you looking forward to it, guys? First off, we'll go with Sam first.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a long way from my team now, but it is. I would say it seems like potentially the most unpredictable Premier League for 10, 15 years. Maybe there'll be another, probably not, but another Leicester, some random team out of nowhere wins it, but I don't think so. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to it less than usual. I love the Premier League to a certain extent, but I'm more looking forward now to hoping that someone does something that's not in the top 6. I'm hoping that I would love it if I'll go and Keegan.
All right, Keegan.
It'd be brilliant if one of the smaller teams could come up and do something good. Like, and I hate saying smaller teams. I'm in that I'm counting the other 14 teams in the Premier League.
Mm.
Like, I'd look if Aston Villa could finish again in the Champions League places. That would be fantastic. If a Bournemouth or a Brentford, obviously Newcastle as a fan, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Now it's more exciting down the bottom of the league and hoping that the teams that come up don't go back down. That's more the exciting thing, I think, in the Premier League, because you kind of know who's going to be at the top now. And it's, apart from teams sneaking in and stuff like that, people going mad about, Brentford, Bournemouth, Sunderland finishing higher up the league last season. But it shouldn't be that you're fighting to get into 7th place to get into the Conference League. That shouldn't be how it is. Realistically, who wants to be in the Conference League? Not really anyone. It's the tournament, obviously, as a Premier League team, you can probably go and win, because we usually do quite well in the Conference League and the Europa League. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the season plays out. As Sam said, this could be a very, very competitive season.
Yeah. Who is in the Conference League?
Is it Sunderland? I'm sure Sunderland is in the Conference League.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to sound disrespectful, but I'd say for a Sunderland, like, Conference League's probably like what you want, because you probably want it. Just being a Premier League team, you're one of the favourites in that tournament straight away. So
I think the thing is with stuff like that, when we were in the Champions League, it meant our league form would always.
Yeah,
we'd really struggle in the league that year because we were playing too many games and we didn't have the squad. So for teams like Sunderland, as you say, it'd be great because they've not been in Europe for so long. But if that really affects their Premier League season, which it probably will, then is it worth it? Then you don't get a lot of money for playing in these European tournaments, unless you're in the Champions League and you're qualifying for the later stages. It's not financially worth it.
I sort of agree with what you said earlier, Al, with regards to the Big Six. I think it would have done the Premier League. I know they would have been kicking and screaming if Spurs went down. I think it would have done it all realms of good, if they did get relegated. I said that, from the beginning when we started, whether they were going to go down. I prayed and prayed that they were, but obviously they just had a bit too much quality.
Yeah.
But I just think it would have done the whole of English football good that one of those went down, because it will never happen now.
No.
Never in a million years. I can't see a season being, that any of those clubs will allow the season to go down that route where they were literally a game away from being relegated. It's just never going to happen again. I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of managerial changes. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like half the managers are different, aren't they? Over half of them, I think. New managers in. I think there's going to be a lot of shocks. I think it's going to be very tight. I think the top 4 or 5 could be separated by, I'm not saying by 2 points, but it's going to be a lot closer than normal. I think at the bottom, it's going to be very difficult, personally, I think, from the newly promoted teams to stay up. I'm not going to give away who I think what they are, but again, though, there's the question of there's some teams with new managers that are losing players, and you're thinking, well, could they go down into the relegation problems, and some of the promoted all the promoted teams are bought okay from the players that are looked at quickly. A lot of players I'm not very sure of, to be brutally honest, because they seem to have bought quite a lot from abroad. But I think it's going to be a good one, which leads me to the first question, which I'll say, Sam, who's going to win the blooming thing? Who's going to win it?
I think Arsenal. It's a bit of a boring answer, but
okay.
Like all the other teams, there's a bit more question marks about them. Maybe Arsenal this will be the season they'll bottle it rather than last year, but they've got the same manager who's now the longest serving manager in the Premier League. They've still got the same team from last year. Maybe they haven't quite sort of like, if they could have got, what's his name, Vinicius Junior or something like that, that would have been like, oh my God. We've got a superstar, but like Man City, like maybe Maresca's a good manager, maybe he's not. Iriola, is he a good manager? Who knows? Yeah, Chelsea could be interesting, I think, with no Europe. And then Man United did well last year, but was that just a blip, or are they actually sort of kind of still rubbish? I don't know.
Al?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to copy Sam here. I'm gonna go Arsenal. I think they've strengthened enough to, and as Sam was saying, there's so many new managers at the big clubs this season that I can't see anyone other than Arsenal winning it. But I don't think it'll be that tight at the top. I think Arsenal will walk away with it. I think they'll win it by at least 7 or 8 points. And I think it'll be tied up by the end of April. I don't think it will go to the last few weeks.
I don't want to predict every single little bit of it. Oh, it's all right. Just say the top team.
No, Arsenal.
I'm going Man City, and I'm not just saying it to, and it's purely because it's a lot harder to be the hunted than the hunter. And Arsenal have got it now, like Liverpool did. They won first time in 30 odd years when they first won it. And what happened that year? It just went all to pot, and they've taken a lot of energy to get to this position. I know they've bought in okay as well, but you know what? I think Man City, with them getting a little, like we said, I know it's only the friendly and that, but I think that's the perfect sort of kick up the bomb that they needed. And like I say, they're just going to buy 2 world-class players to replace that. They got Shirky that was on the bench. You never know. He might even bring back players like Grealish, you know. You got Haaland up front, Mamouche. I just think they've still got, the core is still there. And I think you got, you know, Donnarumma as well. He's a born sort of winner, hasn't he? He's won a lot. And he's never won at the Premier League. I just think that they might have it. I think it's going. I totally disagree with everything you say. I think it's going to be very tight, and I think Man City are going to creep over the line again. Your second place, then, Sam.
It's different. I've randomly gone for Chelsea. I just think
Same
because
here.
they got no extra games. You know, I think they were third last season until they sacked Maresca. So maybe there is a good team there, and maybe Alonso can bring it out of them. And they've only really got the Premier League to focus on. So, but I do think after Arsenal, I'm kind of like a bit. I'm not sure about anyone after that. So I've gone with Chelsea.
Do you think that Arsenal are going to win by a lot of points, like Al?
Potentially, I think you're right in that. Maybe they've knackered themselves out winning it last year. I think it could go one or two ways. Maybe they will be a bit sort of like hungover, if you like, from winning it the season before, or because they've won it now, pressure's off them a little bit, and they can relax a bit more, and they can actually be a bit less of a boring team, because they were kind of boring, if I'm honest, last year. But I think it could be. I do look at this season. I think it could. Anything could. Maybe not anything could happen, but so many different permutations I think could happen this season.
Al?
I'm going Liverpool.
Ooh.
I think. I mean, they've not made many signings, but I don't think they necessarily needed to. I think. I think Salah going is a good thing, because I think he was slowing down. I think a lot of the play went through him last season. He wasn't, I think Salah's a terrific player, and he has been an absolutely amazing player for Liverpool. But it was one of those issues where you've got an aging player who is not on top form anymore, but is still expected to start. And it's really difficult for a manager to drop that player, because the fans will hate it. Because that's the way it is. Like, when Alan Shearer was struggling at Newcastle towards the end of his career, and Hullet dropped him, and the next day he was sacked because you can't drop a club legend. So I think not having him, they haven't really covered him at the moment. That's the worry. But if they get Diomande in, potentially, not Diomande, Bocola in, sorry, that will soften the blow. I think they've got the team to finish second.
Yeah, I think that's a good argument, mate. That's a good argument. My second place is the same as Sam, Chelsea. And I just think purely, I think they might have now a manager that can actually manage the team. And I think he will be given more scope to, I think he's been given more scope, hasn't he, with regards to signings. That these are his signings, and I think he'll be given more things that a coach, like a manager, would be given, rather than him just being told, here's the team, coach it, which you seem to think was how it was done, especially at one point. And I just think they've got the quality of players as well. And I think that there's no pressure on them. Like Sam said, no Europe. It's a sort of a free hit, really. And I think they've, as much as we sort of had a bit of a laugh about it, I think the Welbeck signing especially is sort of showing a bit more sort of outside the box. Still not 100% sure about Henderson, about whether he will play, but I'm sure he's there, like we've discussed before, as almost a cheerleader, almost a bit of the captain's hand, sort of an additional member of staff really in the changing room. But yeah, I think that they could sneak second. Third place then, Sam. Go on.
Man City. They have been the best team over the last 10 years, so I don't see them dropping off too much. But I do maybe worry about them a bit. So, Pep's been there 10 years odd. You just wonder whether they slightly, a bit like Man United when Ferguson left, and Arsenal went, though Arsenal were already a bit rubbish when Wenger left, but then again, Liverpool, Klopp left, and then they won the league the year after. So who knows? And like we said earlier, they've potentially got two potentially really good players coming in. So, and they've got Erling Haaland, so you pretty much guaranteed 25 odd goals from that bastard. So,
yeah, your third place, Al?
I've got Chelsea. I think pretty much all the reasons you said. They've got no Europe. They have got a very big squad though, and it's keeping them all happy.
yeah,
And it's finding your best 11, because it's not like they can go, well, this 11 will play here, and then in Europe we'll play this 11.
yeah.
They've got literally the league and then the two cup competitions. So finding that perfect 11 is going to be the hardest thing that they do.
Okay, no, that's good. My third would be Arsenal, just because I think, like I say, tight league. I just think it'll be a matter of a few points difference, and I think it's always hard to defend the league than being looking to win it. And I just think the pressure might just get to them. And you got to lean as well. Are they going to look at the league? Is it going to be more Champions League, because they came so close to the Champions League? Saliba is going to be a massive loss for them. Gabriel's going to have to take up that mantle a lot more. Raya was making a few mistakes near the end of the season. Is he going to shore himself up? We're going to, they've got the new players as well coming in. You just have to wait and see. But I think they'll get third. Okay, so how do you want to do the relegation? Similar sort of way? Do you want to do your 20th position there, Sam? I've got a funny feeling we might all have the same one.
It's Hull.
Yeah,
it's an obvious pick. Like, I've had sort of like, and I know stats can be like, apparently the stats from the Championship last year, Hull should have got relegated from the Championship, and they've managed to get promoted. But I suppose it is a free hit for them, and they probably had no expectation to be here when they started last season, to be in the Premier League a year later, and they can just hopefully they can enjoy it. but it's hard to think that a team that just, I think, got in the playoffs on the last day, I think maybe they did, or maybe they didn't, I can't remember, and who were kind of a weird team in the Championship can come into the Premier League. But then again, Sunderland weren't, one of the teams expected to come up, and they did come up, and they survived relatively comfortably. So you never know, but it's hard to not think of Hull as finishing bottom.
Fair enough. Out.
Hull, I think this might be a really, really difficult season for them. It could be a very low point score. I hope not. I really hope not. They'll take 4 points off us this season. I know they will. We always, that time when Derby got the lowest thing, I'm sure they took 4 points off us.
To be fair, Kenny Miller did score arguably one of the best goals of the season in that one. So.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's got to be Hull, and yeah.
All of the above, mate. Like stats, possession, they were like 18th or 19th, I think, in the Championship last year. They're not going to get much possession here, and they're not going to get the chances. And I fear for them, like where they're going to get this score. The thing is, being at the bottom, you've got to have at least a goal scorer that can score 10 goals a season, I reckon. Just 10 goals. Like when Forest stayed up that year, that Onuwini scored, I think it was about 10 or 11 goals, kept Forest up. It's just, I don't know where the goals are going to come from. Them, and they were very, very defensive when they came. And I just think in the Premier League, you can't play defense. It's so defensive every game, or you're going to end up getting quite heavily, battered, really, aren't you? But we just have to wait and see. They might have a trick up their sleeve, but I can't see anything really from them. 19th, Sam.
Ipswich.
Yeah.
I'm less confident than usually, because I think there are a lot of teams who, you got like your maybe Sunderland with the extra games, and maybe Fulham could drop in there, but I still think, Ipswich didn't really put up much of a fight last time they were in the Premier League. Maybe they're a bit better now. They've lost the manager. You know what I mean? They didn't even beat us last year, so it must be. Yeah. But from what I've been told, they've made some good signings, but sort of like I heard they've done a kind of a bit like what Sunderland did, sort of like get some big lads in, get some physical players, so we're not going to get bullied off the ball so much. Because like last time, they probably put up the best fight out of the 3 promoted times last time they commit for at least half the season, but once they sort of it was obvious they were going down, they kind of fell apart a bit. So I've been boring and just gone with 2 promoted teams so far.
No, that's fair enough. Al?
Yep, Ipswich. And you hate to say it, but it feels like every season it's the same, isn't it? You kind of, the majority of predictions for those going down are the ones that came up. Don't know a lot about Ipswich, but yeah, I've got them in 19th place.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's not necessarily the players with this for me. I'm gone to Ipswich as well. I think it's the manager. I just think Gary O'Neill is not a great fit for them. McKenna obviously had something, had a fantastic, 4 or 5 years there. And for whatever reason, he's left, which is fair enough. And I just think going with someone like Gary O'Neill, I found that was a bit of an odd one, if you know what I mean. He's didn't really do too much at Bournemouth or Wolves, really. And now he's obviously got this job. And they spent, looking at the transfers they spent a hell of a lot of money this year as well.
They have, haven't they?
They look big money. I mean, and Ciso, he's come back for about 26 million. Lukic from Fulham, 9 million. Florento, 16 million. Obviously, Fataru, 20 million. They've gone big. Obviously, Issa Diop 8.5 from Fulham, and then they've got the Celtic striker for 8 million. It's the Japanese guy. It's a lot of money, and I hope it works out. But I just don't think they've got that experience. Where's the guy who's going to score 10 goals for them? You know, I might again being a bit harsh, but I can't see them staying up, to be really honest. So that's why I put them on 19th. Sam, you're 18th, and I can only assume you're going with Coventry.
I am, yeah.
You are?
I just think,
oh, you boy, man.
yeah. Well, again, they seem to like last year, and again, maybe they can change the way they play. They seem like a lot of last season was about outscoring teams, and that's going to be very difficult in the Championship. I mean, in the Premiership, sorry. And I'm not sure their defence was that good last year. I mean, one of their best players, I think, was Matt Grimes. He's quite old, and I think he's got a bit of Premier League experience. But you know, I think there'll be so much positivity there that maybe they can, you know, at home they can sort of like get the crowd really up for it and cause teams some problems. And I think there are a lot of teams, sort of mid-table teams like Fulham, Sunderland, Palace. Sunderland don't have a new manager, but they got the extra games. Palace got new managers. Sunderland got new manager. Not Sunderland. Fulham got new manager. So you're a bit sort of like, are they that good that they can't go down? I'm not sure that's the case, but
Okay,
yeah.
that's a fair point. Al?
I'm not going to go with Coventry because I want to try and. But then looking at the other teams, it's very difficult to pick who's going to be down there. Fulham potentially down there. Palace could potentially be down there if they lose any more players, especially if Wharton goes as well. Forest potentially, depending on, you know, how they start. Newcastle, I know there's a few people that have said that they could go down this season, which I could see. But I'm going to go with Fulham. I just think with a new manager, you know, I think they'll struggle this season. I think they'll be there or thereabouts. So just to change it up a little bit, I'm going to go with Fulham.
No, that's fair enough, mate. I was thinking the same thing as you. I think Coventry are going to be entertaining. I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to be fun to watch. And I think Lampard's got that experience as a manager in the Premier League as well. And I'm actually going to go Sunderland. I had a long think about that. And I'm pure. And I thought Sam was going to give exactly the reason that I was going to give them. They've the second, exactly the same as the Arsenal scenario a bit. It's the second season staying in the Premier League. The first season, they had a fantastic start to the league. They were, I think, 4th at Christmas.
Yeah.
And then they dropped quite a lot near the end, which of course is going to happen. And they they sneaked into the Conference League. But I think that they haven't added, I think they added one signing. And I just feel it might be a bit too much. And I feel that they might press the panic button very soon, too early, and then it will just start being a mess. Because obviously the way that they've gone for the signings have been very done, you know, I think off the manager by lots of things, by the way he's got them playing as well. And I just think like if it's rocked the boat, if there's any problems with it and he goes, I don't think the players will react very well to that. And I just think that they will struggle because I think they haven't got as much strength in depth as we first thought. And like I say, if they start slowly, good luck. I mean, but then like Al said, Fulham as well, got Arbeloa. They've lost a lot of big players, but I think they'll be struggling. And I think Coventry will still struggle.
Yeah.
I think they'll just,
I think it's
just do enough.
I think if the sort of promoted teams can be competitive, then I think the division could be quite, you know, because it was that like that last season, like the mid-table last season was ridiculous. It was like
Yeah.
with like 2 games to go, I think, or 3 or 4 games to go, Everton potentially still could have got Champions League football, and they
Yeah.
finished in the end like 15th or something like that. So if it's tight, then I think maybe if those bottom promoted teams can be competitive, then you get a little run together, and you're suddenly sort of out of trouble, like Leeds did it towards the end of last season, sort of thing. So
Because you don't want a team finishing on like, single digit points or anything like that. You want everyone to be competitive. You want the last games of the season to be relegation and promote and the title. You want that exciting last day of the season. And we didn't really get much of that last season because everything was pretty much decided on the final day. But so you don't want these teams, and it's never fun for promoted teams to go straight back down again, because it makes it makes the league less competitive. If it's all, you go back years and it could be anyone going down. I mean, West Ham going down last year was exciting for a way, because it's like, wow, a big team's gone down. Like West Ham are a big team, and it's been a while since we've had a big team get relegated.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Coventry's buys, Frank Onyeka, Brentford, 6.8 million. I think that's a good solid buy. Someone with Premier League experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've gone a bit with youth as well. We've got Carl Rushworth, their goalkeeper from last year. A lot of money for a goalkeeper, 22 million. But again, I think he's one for the future as well. I think that's a good buy. Like I touched on, Tyone Oniobi from Forest, 9 million. Gets injured a lot, but he knows he's like a Chris Wood, isn't he? If you can get the ball into the box, get someone with good delivery, then he'll get his head onto it. Then they got Hamer back as well from Sheffield United. Again, I think that's good for the delivery wise. I'm not sure though. It'd be interesting to see whether he's Premier League standard though, because I remember before he wasn't quite, I don't think, up there, but you never know. And then obviously some of the guys that they paid 20, again, they've gone in quite big for a lot of players here. A centre back from Frankfurt for 15 million.
I think you have to, though, don't you? You have
You
to.
do. You have to go in big.
Spend that money. When you were talking about Ipswich, I remember looking at that last week and thinking, God, they've spent like over 100 million. But if they didn't, then Sunderland did it the year before and it worked. It doesn't always work, but when it works, but you've got to do it. And
also, mate, as well, you got to look at it. The amount of money and whatever, but there might be a little gem there that they could just sell on for like another 60 million if they do well. So I think it's all about investment, isn't it? Like 20 million nowadays. I know I was saying, it's quite a lot of money, but in the Premier League, it's like old school to like 5 million, isn't it? It's not anything now really much. So that's our top 3 and bottom 3. Do you want to do where you thought for the 4th position? What do you reckon? Did you put one down for that?
Yeah, I had to put United.
I actually put United as well.
I got Man City 4th.
Man City. Why did you put Man United, Sam? What was your reasoning on that?
Yeah, just maybe they have slightly turned the corner. It's we'll see, because as people said, they didn't play that many. They played as few games as was possible for them last year, so they just had the league games to focus on, and now they've got they're back in the Champions League, so they've got that. But a bit like Al said, it can work both ways. If you got it's good that you only have to focus on the league, so you're nice and fresh. But also, if you're a big team, you've got 30 plus players. And if you're only playing one game a week, then you've probably got a lot of players who are sort of moping around like, well, I'm not playing any games. So maybe it's better for United that they've got the extra games. We'll see.
Yeah, that seems sensible. I just done it as a progression thing. I think Carrick will steady the ship. The ship's been a bit out of control, hasn't it, for a while? I was not agree. And yeah, I just think he will steady it slightly, and it was just bit. They bought quite heavily last year, didn't they? And this year they've really just bought in, like we said, Tillerman, Santos, got Cardalo as a free from Leeds. For some reason, I thought he went to Celtic. I don't know why I thought that, but there we go. And I just think it, like I say, just steady the ship. Do you not agree with us there, Al?
No, but we're going to talk about the and we're going to talk about the. We'll probably go into a little bit further later. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
I've got some on Man United. I've got some on them.
Oh, good. Best young player. I'll go with Al first.
So I'm going to go for my good friend Jeff Stelling. He's got a new football show apparently coming out. And he said that his potential young player for this season is Lewis Miley for Newcastle. So I'm going to go for Lewis Miley because
I thought you were going to go for Jeff Stelling. I was going to say he's long past his best now.
Lewis Miley's not really had too much of a chance to shine at Newcastle over the last couple of seasons. He was injured a lot last season, which was a real shame because the season before he came in and he played really well, especially in the Champions League. And a lot of people spoke about Elliot Anderson and how good he was when he was coming through. But a couple of seasons, when Elliot Anderson was playing for Newcastle and Lewis Miley was playing for Newcastle, I thought Lewis Miley was the better player. At the time, I used to prefer it when Lewis Miley was in the team rather than Elliot Anderson. He's a big lad as well. And I think now with the players that have left, I think it'll give him the opportunity. I'm hoping he's going to be a regular starter because he is such a quality young player. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people will see him because you sort of see the youth in your own team, don't you? And you don't really see it in other teams. And you sort of think, well, he's a local lad. His younger brother as well has been playing right back. His younger brother's 17 and has been absolutely fantastic pre-season, his younger brother. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Lewis Miley because Jeff Stelling said it as well.
Well, you can't argue with Jeff, can you?
Exactly.
And also, Lewis is playing right back, wasn't he, last season a little bit? So hopefully getting in the centre of midfield and see what he can do. My one is Ryan from Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm.
I think he came in January last year for about 25 mil. People said good things about him, and last year he's just absolutely came off the blocks really well. 15 appearances, 5 goals. He represented Brazil in the World Cup as well. He's only 20 years old. He's a big boy, 6'2", got pace. He's got intelligence as well. I think he'll be sold on at some point, no doubt, to one of the big teams. And that's why I'll go for him. I just think that this year will be a really good season for him to show his class, because obviously Bournemouth, I think, will need people to step up, especially now. Obviously, the manager's gone, and Marco Rosa is a good manager. I think he's been at Dortmund, I think, at one point. But again, unknown quantity in the Premier League. So we just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. And I think they need, like I say, those sorts of players to really step up. They haven't really bought much. They haven't sold much either. So I think it'll be interesting times there, I think, at the Vitality, isn't it? Yeah. Who have you put then, Sam?
I've gone for Manzambi, the player Villa signed, Swiss guy.
Yeah.
He looked pretty sort of exciting in the World Cup. I heard he's pretty good. And with obviously Villa losing a lot of players, he should be, I guess, playing quite regular as well. So he won't be just, you would have thought they've not brought him in for the future. They brought him in to play now. So
yeah,
I think I went with him, yep.
No, that's fine. I think he can play both, can't he? He can play midfield, attacking mid, striker.
So sort of like he can fill in for where Tillerman's left or Rodgers left, sort of thing. He's
one player that Newcastle tried to sign in the summer. I really like the look of him. And I was a bit gutted that he went Villa, but they've got Champions League, so
Yeah, that's a good one. Which one do you want to go for now, then, guys? Do you want to go underachievers?
Yeah, go
Al, I know you're chomping at the bit.
Man United.
Oh wow! I never thought
Um,
you were going to say that.
I was waiting. I think Man United. I think because of the Champions League, I don't think they've got the strength in depth. They have got some really good players, Man United. I think. I think oddly, I think a lot of this season could depend on Marcus Rashford because Marcus Rashford is an absolutely quality player, absolute quality. You know, he was at Barcelona last season. He did really well at Barcelona last season. Some of the goals he scored were absolutely fantastic. And to get into that Barcelona starting team, you know, he didn't play every game, but he did play a lot. And I generally think if Man United can use him well, then I think they'll do. Then I think they'll be fine. But I don't think that midfield is strong enough. You know, the money they've spent on Santos, who has barely played for Chelsea, it's like 50 million. Tielemans is a great player. I don't know if he's a Man United player. Belieber again just seems a bit like a panic buy. I mean, they were looking at Tuchemeni at the start of the window. Where's that gone? I think they've got Sesko's not a guaranteed start every week. Mbuemo and Kuna are quality. Their goalkeeper Layman's is absolutely brilliant as well. That goalkeeper they got in last season. But then I saw something the other day that it was like the starting back four are the same starting back four they had in 2022. It's exactly the same starting back four. And they're an aging back four that are not quick at all. They're a slow defense. And I think they could really struggle this season. And I know they've struggled over the last few years in different seasons, but I think a lot of people are thinking they're going to do really well this season, and I think they could struggle.
Okay. No, I think you put forward a very good argument there, mate. To be fair, I don't really think that me and Sam were putting them to increase the overachievers. I think it was just more the same. But no, I think that's a really good argument. I'll go with mine, and I'm going to say Liverpool. And I'm only going to say this now because I've said this to our off camera as well, and I just think that he has the fundamentals to be a good manager at Liverpool, but concerns me because he's very much sort of Brendan Rodgers-esque appointment. You know, possession, very good at a smaller team. I think we've got to take some pain before we'll see the results of everything. I think it's a proper rebuild that we've needed to do. I mean, the Konate thing was a joke. Like, they shouldn't have let his contract run down. If he was going to leave, we should have sorted that out a long time ago. I've got my doubts with the Van Dijk situation as well, whether the same thing is going to happen with him. Salah going, like Al said, I think that's opened up a few other avenues that needed to be open. It was an awkward conversation that needed to be had, and obviously that's now gone. But I think the true Liverpool fans will be looking at this and going, this is a team that isn't going to go straight to the top. That is going to need a lot of work doing from top to bottom. You know, they've lost total confidence, I thought, in midfield. Florian Wirtz is important to them, so they need to sort out where he's going to be placed on the team. Isaac needs to get his finger out as well.
I think he'll do well this season. I've got him in my fantasy team.
I think by the way that they'll play, I think he'll be a lot better. But yeah, I just think that we'll flatter to deceive a lot of the time. I'll be more than happy with top 5, to be brutally honest. And I just think they'll probably just underperform. But I would say that you've got to give him a chance. Give him a year or so. Don't just put the pressure on, and because you could end up doing a Man United where back in the day where they're sacking managers sort of every 6 months, and you just got to give him time. And that's why I put Liverpool there. Sam.
I think it's maybe a bit harsh one, but maybe Bournemouth.
Okay.
They've done so well, but they keep having to sell their best players. and then they buy in loads of players who probably I've never heard of, who are probably brilliant players, and they brought in a new manager. Like I don't think they'll necessarily do like too badly, but considering how well they've done in the last couple of years, I think they might drop off, 4 or 5 places in the table, maybe.
Yeah,
So
that's fair enough.
yeah.
That's a fair enough assumption. And this is what's always going to happen, I think. Like there must be that worry with your Bournemouths, Brightons as well, that it just can't keep going the way it's going. Where they're using whatever way that they're finding players. If it's just rolling out, aren't they? Quality players after quality players. It's sort of got to stop at some point. Any other things that we've got?
The only other one is the overachievers.
The overachievers.
The overachievers.
Okay.
You go on. You start with this one.
I'll start with this one. I think Coventry, because they'll stay up. I think they will stay up. Like I said to you before with the argument, I got Frank Lampard in charge. He's been there before. They've got now signed a striker that's been in the Premier League. I think he'll score more than 10 if he stays fit. And I think as a whole, they've got a great morale anyway. I think because Lampard's been here and done it, I think they'll do it. I think they've got a big fan base as well that are hungry to stay up. And I think everyone's going to expect them to sort of be, at the bottom. But I think they'll just stay above it. I can't really put any overachievers. Is very difficult in this league because you got your top 6, and then probably that's about it. Unless you want to be lucky and put a Villa or Newcastle in. But I'm not 100 now. What's happened with Konza? I'm not 100% sure with Villa. But yeah, I'm going with Coventry on mine. I think they'll stay up. I think they'll come 16th or 17th, and I think for them that would be an overachievement because they stayed up. Sam,
I think I'll go with Forest.
okay, that's a good one.
I don't know about overachieving is the right word I'd use for them, but I think considering how badly they did last year, I think they should be comfortably mid-table this season, maybe pushing the European spots. Whereas last year they were, they weren't quite bottom. Were they 16th or something in the end? So,
yeah.
So I think they should be like top 8 maybe. But they have spent a lot of money, so I don't know whether it counts as overachieving. But I think they might be the team who climb most from where they finished last year. So I think, apart from maybe Chelsea.
Well, I've heard that Forest are looking at Mateta, aren't they?
Oh, are they?
Which would be interesting.
Yeah.
And would really screw Palace up, that would, wouldn't it? I don't know whether they would be priced out, but it's a bit different from in AC Milan looking at him, isn't it? With all due respect.
I'm not sure if Palace will want to do any business with Forest, seeing as their Forest owners suing them or whatever. So.
Oh,
it's difficult, isn't it? Because you kind of think like Tottenham finishing higher up would be an over, but then it's not an overachievement because they should be. At the top. So I've gone with Leeds, mainly because I saw them pre-season against Man United. It was the game that was on. I think it was on BBC, which is really weird for a friendly to be on terrestrial TV. But Leeds looked good in that game. I thought they looked really good. I think they've still kept a lot of their players. They brought James Trafford in, who's an absolute quality goalkeeper. I think they are a team that would overachieve this season. I think, you think of Leeds now, probably bottom half of the table. But to be honest, I think they could finish top half. I think they could potentially do a Bournemouth or a Sunderland and finish fairly high up. Maybe even sneak into a Conference League place. So yeah, I'm going Leeds.
no, that's good. That's a nice change. I mean, I think the Trafford signing is a real coup really for them.
Yeah.
If you looked at one position that they probably would have thought of that they needed would have been the goalkeeper, and I mean that's 3 to 6 points, isn't it? Again,
Yeah.
a year that with a good keeper, you're sort of winning. I think Harry Wilson as well. That's a great signing
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I hope they do well. To be honest, I would like to see them still sort of there. I mean, they've still got Calvert-Lewin up top, haven't they? So
Yeah.
and I think it might be interesting. Where do you think Spurs are going to come before we move on?
I've got them fifth.
Have you?
Yep.
Oh, I think they'll come sixth. I think they'll get Europe.
I think they'll be happy with that, to be honest, after the last 2 seasons.
What do you reckon, Sam?
8th.
Oh, okay. Well, they'll still be happy with that. There's no relegation.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anything more to add on to this section then, lads, at all?
Can I just point out, I am wearing a football top. It's a Joe Linton one. So
Oh, okay.
I am the resurrection.
That's
Just because we always wear football tops, and I didn't want people to think that I wasn't wearing a football top for them.
Oh, okay. Is he staying?
I hope so. I love Joe Linton.
If he's put a top like that, then he's got to stay.
I bought this years ago when he got moved into midfield, and he became a brilliant player. I'll get this top.
Have we got time for a quiz, guys? Yeah, shall we go for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could leave out the thingy round, couldn't we?
We're going to take out that from now on anyway.
A random round.
A random round, and we've just got our own round. So at the moment, the quiz stands at Sam on 7, Al on zilch, isn't it? Oh, sorry,
I'm on
3.
tilt, you're on -1.
On 3 and me on 2. So as we did last week, I'll let Al pick first who he wants to go. Do you want to go yourself, or
I'll go myself this time because I've not been first for ages. So I'll...
Okay, bear me a second. All right then, guys.
Okay, so I have themed my quiz again. So last week I did it on your rivals. This week I'm doing it on Newcastle United.
Oh, lovely.
I thought you'd both enjoy that.
Lovely stuff.
Okay, question 1. Who is Newcastle United's record signing?
Joe Linton?
No.
Altamada?
No.
No.
I'm not going to give you another one either because you'd get it straight away.
Fair enough.
It's Isaac.
Oh, it was.
Really? Gee.
It was in euro. I found all these in euros. It was 77.5 million euros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question 2. In the film Goal,
Yeah.
what is the nationality of Santiago Munez? I take it you've both seen that film.
We have, or I have anyway.
Is he Mexican?
He is Mexican. Well done. It's available on YouTube for free if anyone wants to watch it.
I think I've seen Goal 2 even.
I've seen Goal 3. He's only in it for a little bit in Goal 3. It's more about the English
is that the one where he's follows like an England player and he has
it
a heart
follows
attack?
the England squad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that was bad.
Question 3. Who has scored the most goals in a single season in the Premier League for Newcastle?
Alan Shearer?
Incorrect. I think it would be, wouldn't you?
Andrew Cole.
It is Andrew Cole. 41 in the 93-94 season.
Of course, yeah.
Question 4. It's a starting 11. On the 20th of October 1996, Newcastle United beat Manchester United 5-0.
Yeah.
Can you name the starting lineups for Newcastle or Man United? So it'll be a back and forth. So, Chris, as soon as you're 2-0 down at the minute, I'll let you start this one.
Schmeichel.
Correct.
Philip Albert.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to do that one because he chipped him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Gary Neville.
Yep.
Steve Howe.
No.
No.
One life down.
David Ginola.
David Ginola, yep. Scored a goal. There were 5 different goal scorers as well for Newcastle that day. So.
Steve Watson.
It was Steve Watson's played, yep.
Robert Lee.
Robert Lee, yep.
Steve Bruce.
No, that's a point to Chris. So you could have had Pavel Cernacek, Philip Albert, Peter Beardsley, Steve Watson, John Beresford, Lee, Peacock, Lee, Ferdinand, Shearer, Ginola, or David Batty. For Man United, it was Cernacek, Poborski, Cantona, Gary Neville, Irwin, Johnson, Pallister, Beckham, Butt, May, and Solskjaer.
Okay.
Question 5. This is the closest to the pin. What is the capacity of St James's Park? Sam, will start with you.
55,000.
55,000. Chris?
60.
It's only 52,769. So point to Sam.
Sam.
Question 6. The new manager, Mr. Heysel, what's his first name?
Mateus.
It is. Question 7. Sorry, I've got the next point on that. Question 7. Alexander Isak was the most expensive signing for Newcastle United. What were the next 10 players, most expensive players? So this will be a bid question.
Yeah.
So, Chris, how many of the 10 next most expensive players Newcastle have signed in their
I'll
history?
go with 4.
Okay, I will tell you they are within the last 5 years, I think. Yeah.
I'll go with 5.
5.
Go on then, Sam.
Oh,
Go on then, Sam.
Yeah, Volta Marder.
yeah, 75 million euros. He was the second.
Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes, yep, 44 million euros.
That's a good shout.
What's his fucking name? Oh, what's his name?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tonali.
Denali, yeah, well done. I'll give you that.
Give you that one.
67.1 million euros. The third most expensive signing.
Yeah.
2 more.
Livramento.
No, surprisingly not. I think he was he was the next one on the list.
Yeah.
So Chris, to steal, you only still got to say 1.
Of the top 10.
It's numbers 2 to 11 technically because Isak was number 1.
Yeah.
So Voltemade, Tonali, and Barnes have already gone.
I've got to say Wissa.
It was Visser, yeah. So you could have had Voltemade, Tonali, Elanga, Wissa, Bruno, Toure, the new guy, Gordon, Ramsey, Barnes, and Jolie.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. Question 8. What position did Newcastle finish in last season in the Premier League?
Twelfth.
It was 12. Hold on, Chris. Question 9. Which player made the most consecutive appearances for Newcastle of all time? Now, not going back long time ago. You're talking from the early 2000s to now. The most consecutive appearance. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how many consecutive appearances this player made. 140 consecutive appearances.
I'm going to go Rob Lee.
It was not Rob Lee.
Shay Given.
It was Shay Given.
Oh,
Bloody hell,
shout.
well done.
That's a great shout.
And stealing a type of question that Sam did last week, I'm going to ask you to put these in order.
Oh God.
Okay. Over the last 10 years, okay, the highest scorers. Hold on a sec. Oh, yeah, sorry. Over the last 10 years, I want these goals scored, the amount of goals they've scored in order, okay, for these 5 players. Harvey Barnes, Miggy Almiron, Jacob Murphy, Bruno Gomes, and Anthony Gordon. So I want them in order, most goals to least. Have you got all those players down, or do you want them again?
Just one more time, please, mate.
So it was Harvey Barnes,
Yep.
Miggy Almiron, Jacob Murphy, Bruno Gomes, and Anthony Gordon. Okay. Chris, starting with you.
Okay, so I'll go with. This is really bloody hard, mate.
I know it is, yeah.
This is really difficult. I'll say Gordon, Barnes, Murphy. No, sorry, Gordon, Barnes, Bruno, Murphy, Almiron.
Okay. Same for you,
I'll
Sam.
go Barnes, Guimaraes, Gordon, Murphy, Almiron.
Sam was closest. It was Bruno, Gordon, Almiron, Murphy, Barnes.
Barnes is
So-
the least, so Sam got the point there, yeah?
Yeah, so Sam got the point. Yeah, he only scored 20. He scored 21.
Wow.
So at the end of that round, it was Sam 5, Chris 4.
Oof.
Boy, like a nice
Oh.
competitive round there.
That was, wasn't it? Who do you want to pick next, though?
Let's go with Chris. You do the questions next.
Okay.
Sam can
Nice.
take a really big lead here.
Well, this is all about your favourite club, Blackburn. It says,
Oh, is it?
only,
Wow.
only joking. No, only joking.
Sheeran
Okay.
Sutton.
Correct. No.
Graham
Okay.
Lasso.
Question 1. Patino Espridia's son played for which club?
Oh.
For which? It was a championship club, sorry.
Oh, I remember reading about this as well.
Do you want to have a little bit of a clue? Or
Yeah, go with a guess first, and then we'll go with a click. Wasn't Derby?
no?
UBR.
No, it is okay. The clue is it's a London club. That's all I'm going to say.
A championship club now?
Yeah.
West Ham.
No. Last clue there.
Charlton? No.
No, it was Watford.
Oh, bugger.
Okay, so as per the app transfer market, which player is the most expensive in the championship?
Oh, he's that bloody new one that's gone West Ham, isn't he? Oh, for the life of me.
Bowen.
Correct, Sam.
Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah,
Who
you thought I meant
signed-
Ingles, yeah, but no, it was actually still Gerard Bowen. Which two English clubs has Gary O'Neill managed before Ipswich?
Bournemouth.
That's one.
Wolves.
That's one as well. I'll give you half a point each. I'll let Al start off. First half a point that we've ever had, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, which squad number does Elliot Anderson play in the Charity Shield for Manchester City at the weekend?
8.
No,
6.
Oh. no. I'll give you one more guess each.
25.
Uh, 4.
It was 5.
Oh!
Joe Bellingham plays for which club?
Borussia Dortmund.
Correct. Well done. Moved there last year from Sunderland. Okay, so this is my favourite subject, fantasy football. So, what are the top 15 players on value in this year's fantasy football? So I'll do this one as like a tennis round. So I'll start things off with Al, as he's losing at the moment, which he would be because he's faced less questions than me and you.
Haaland.
Sorry, mate. No, only joking. Yeah, of course.
Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, you got the top 2 there.
Declan Rice.
He says Declan Rice, and that's no.
What?
Yeah, he's just outside. So, Sam, that's your first life gone.
Cole Palmer.
Yep, you got the third place one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Isaac.
Yep, you got the fifth place one. Well done.
This is hard, this. I like this question, though.
Saka.
Are you doing this in order? You got the fourth place one, yeah?
He didn't get any points last season. That's quite high.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Gyökeres.
He's going Gyökeres. He was the 16th place person. So sorry, Sam. Sorry, Al. Sam's got the point.
Is
I'll go for the
Szoboszlai
list.
in there?
Szoboszlai. No, he wasn't
Morgan
actually.
Rogers.
What's that?
Morgan Rogers.
Morgan Rogers. No.
No.
So we
You're
go
looking at
with
a lot of strikers, aren't you, really?
yes. So going Haaland, Fernandes, Palmer, Saka, Isaac, Semenya, Cunha. Then you got Gabriel, Gibbs White, Brian Mbumu, Thiago, Ollie Watkins, Cherky, Doku, and Ekitike.
Doku.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then but just to round off the top 20 was Gyökeres, Havertz, João Pedro, and Cooper.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, next question. Okay, there are 24 Croatian goal scorers in the Premier League. How many can you name? See, this is another specialized subject of mine.
And you said my round, Murad. Croatians.
How many can you guess?
That's not
Ow,
Croatian.
this one will be a guess one.
2. How many was
2.
there?
24. Playing it safe, like it.
3.
Can you go 4? Al?
Yes, I can go 4.
Can you go 5? 5, Sam? Can you
Yeah,
go
5 maybe.
5?
Go for 5 then, because I've literally got 1 written down.
Come on then, Sam.
Right, Modric.
Luka Modric.
That's the one I had written down.
Yeah.
Vedran Chorluka.
Yeah.
Mateo Kovacic.
Yeah.
Igor Stimac.
Oh, you beauty. That's going back a bit. That's all. Bloody hell. Stimac.
Gosh.
Yes.
I think I've got one if Sam doesn't get one. I think I've got one.
Oh, you beauty. Putting additional pressure on him on this one.
Yeah, I don't even have this. Nikola Jelavic.
Yeah, he's the top one. So one more left, isn't it?
Who's that on 5?
Is that your 5?
Is it not?
No, I think you got one more. I was waiting in the wings.
Oh, no, I don't know if it's right or not.
No.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sam?
No.
No. Oh no. Oh, to steal.
Now, for some reason, I think he played for Arsenal. Did Suka play for Arsenal?
Davor Suka. Oh, you beauty. Oh no. Al. You've only got a point. Well done.
Oh, I had a thought that he'd played for Arsenal at one point.
Yeah.
Bloody
So
hell.
the list is: you'll be kicking yourselves when you hear Asanovic from Derby, Slaven Bilic, West Ham, Igor Biscan, Liverpool, Alan Boxic, Middlesbrough, Kalata Carr from Southampton, Corluka, which some said, Eduardo, Arsenal,
Mm.
Grividal, Man City. You said Jelavic, and then Klasinic from Blackburn, even Klasic from Bolton, then obviously Kovacic, Kramovic from Leicester, Sam Kramovic,
Yep.
Harry Redknapp's favourite, Nikon Kroenke,
Oh, yeah.
Lovren, Dejan
yeah.
Lovren. Wait a second, just turning over the page. Stanic, Stimac, Davor Suka, and Nikola Valovic. There we go. Okay, next question. Who is the most expensive English goalkeeper?
Trafford.
Correct. It was Pickford.
Was it?
Yeah, 30 million. It's now Trafford. Okay. Now, this is closest. These last two questions are closest to the pin. So, when was the last time Wrexham, Swansea, and Cardiff played in second tier football together? What year? So, I'll go first with Sam on this one.
1955.
Oh, my God. I wrote 56 down.
Okay. Well, as we're playing closest to the pin, it is Al. It's 1980.
Oh,
Oh, bloody hell.
not even close.
Okay, and the final question on this round, which Al's done really well on here. How many points did Hearts get last season? So we'll go with Sam to start off.
That'd be me, wouldn't it?
You,
Sam went
you
first
sorry,
last
to
one.
start off, yeah. Sorry.
I don't know, so I'm going to say 77.
Okay. What are you going to go with, Sam?
86.
Okay, you're both very close. It was 80 points. So Al gets it.
I literally have no idea how many points it takes to win the Scottish League.
No,
No.
it was 82 this year.
Oh,
Celtic. So at the end of that round, Al's on 5.5.
Not bad.
Obviously, I'm on my 4. And Sam is on 7.5. Coming on to Sam's questions.
all right. Question 1. Who was the first player to score a Premier League goal?
Brian Dean.
Oh, yeah.
Who plays their home games at Fratton Park?
Portsmouth.
Yep.
Come on now, what are you playing?
What? Which team was Gary O'Neill managing last season?
Strasbourg.
Bloody hell, Chris. Right, this closest to the pin. How many Premier League goals did Harry Kane score for Tottenham?
Oh my God. Ooh.
We'll go. Chris, you go first.
187.
I put 168.
Chris again. It's 213. Oh dear. Which Premier League player's son scored for Blackburn on Friday night? Or former Premier League, sorry. Former Premier League striker.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Kevin Phillips?
Nope.
Dion Dublin.
Former Chelsea and Bolton striker.
Hasselbank.
Nope.
Chelsea's. No, mate. I don't know.
Idager Johnson.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh.
Mm. Yeah, so following on from that one, there were 30 players who played Premier League football games whose sons have also played Premier League football games. So I want the name of the fathers. And we'll go back and forth
Okay.
tennis for this one.
Yeah.
How you can go first.
Haaland.
Yep.
Schmeichel.
Ah.
Yep.
Right. 30.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them you'll never get.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't even think of any apart from Haaland. Is it Gunn?
Angus
Yeah.
Gunn.
Yeah, Angus Gunn.
Ryan Gunn, Angus Gunn, yeah.
And that they played in the Premier League, is it? Did you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
Pumas. Has Lewis played?
No.
No, he hasn't played.
No. One life down.
Ian Wright.
Yep.
All right, Phillips, that's a shout. Oh my God, brain's gone.
Did the dad have to play in the Premier League as well?
Yeah, so
Okay.
they basically both, the dad and the son.
I've got another.
I'm out, mate. Going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce.
Yeah.
Big Spruce, of course.
Could have had Paul Ince, Alan Cork, Kevin Campbell, Rob
Cliver.
Lee, Gus Poyet, Cliver, David Hurst, Gordon Strachan, Paul Furlong, Steve Potts, Alvin Martin, Rory Delap, Jimmy Phillips, Richard Cresswell, John Helder, Lee Clark, David Johnson,
Oh, yeah, Brennan
Neil
Johnson.
Dans, Claudio Reyna, Matt Hill, Andy Gray, Dean Gordon, Nicholas Goodmanson, Sean Derry, and Darren Fletcher.
Oh, wow.
Well
Darren
played.
Fletcher's got 2 sons. So does Ian Wright.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, school. Question 7. Who is the most expensive Scottish footballer?
McTominay.
Well done.
25.7 million. In
That's
the
not
all-time, yeah, in the all-time Premier League table, with a minus 301 goal difference, who has the worst?
much.
Oh, that's a good one. I'd say someone like Southampton.
He
nailed
it.
Oh, he's on fire.
Oh, they come back. Okay. Again,
You want to play now, Chris? Come on.
with 6 relegations, which team has been relegated the most from the Premier League? So that's just Premier League, obviously.
West Brom.
No.
Norwich.
Yep. Bloody hell. Okay, so there's last question. We'll do tennis again.
Okay.
Been 24 winners of the League Cup. Can you name them? Starting with Chris.
Arsenal.
Yep, only twice.
Newcastle.
Can't remember that game.
Just the once.
Just the once. Liverpool.
10 times.
Leicester.
3 times.
Oh, Birmingham.
Yeah. Where's that? Yeah, twice.
Man City.
9 times.
Man United.
6 times.
Oh, you said Birmingham, didn't you, Chris?
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Yep,
Yeah.
4 times.
Beat Leicester, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh. I'll go with Sunderland. No.
No, 1.5 down.
Chelsea.
Oh, that's a good shout. Chef Wednesday.
Yep.
Villa?
Once. 5 times, yeah.
Uh, Go with Fulham. No.
No. Right now.
You out. I was going
Has
to
he
go
got-
Forest for the last one. Forest.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 times Forest. Could have had Norwich twice, Wolves twice, West Brom, Middlesbrough, QPR, Leeds, Stoke, Luton, Swindon, Oxford, Blackburn, or Swansea. So that was 5-4 to Chris.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's been competitive.
it's been competitive. This new way of scoring, I think, might be where we stick with, because coming on to the last round, Al is on 9.5. I'm on 9, and Sam is on 7.5.
Oh.
So, Sam, for the first time in a long time, you actually get to pick A, B, or C on the last round.
Go A.
You're going to go A. Okay. Let's get them up. Let me know when you're ready, Al.
I'm ready. 3, 2,
2,
1,
1,
go.
go. Which legendary Dutch player totalized the concept of total football in the 1970s?
Johan Cruyff.
Correct. Who was the first African player to win the Ballon d'Or?
George Ware.
Correct. Which team used to play at Roker Park?
Sunderland.
Yep. In which country is the famous Macarena Stadium located?
Brazil.
Maracana. Yep. What is the nickname of Newcastle United?
Magpies.
Yeah. Which Portuguese club has a giant eagle fly before kickoff?
Benfica.
Yeah. Who is known as the king of football from Brazil?
Pele.
Yeah. Which English player won the 1986 World Cup Golden Boot?
Gary Lineker.
Yeah. Which country pulled off a shock win at Euro 2004?
Greece.
Yeah. Which team is
Oh,
known?
it was already time, Chris.
Oh, was it?
It was 9.
He got 9.
Oh no.
Just when we think he's out of the running. So that's 16.5. Have you
Right.
got me more questions then?
Yeah.
That's
ready,
a great
Sam?
round. That was a great round, Sam. Well done.
Okay.
All right.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Question 1. How old is Cristiano Ronaldo?
41.
Correct. Question 2. How many teams win the first Premier League?
22.
Correct. Question 3. What is the name of Fulham's home ground?
Craven Cottage.
Question 4. Which player recently collapsed on the pitch?
Jamal Musiala.
Correct. Question 5. Which team are known as the Seasiders?
Brighton.
Oh. Question 6. Which club has won the most FA Cups?
Man United.
Question 7. Which team started the championship on -4 points this season?
Southampton.
Correct. Question 8. Who is playing in the first match of the Premier League season? Which 2 teams?
Arsenal and Coventry.
Correct. Question 9. What is the name of the Barcelona manager?
Oh God. Pass.
Time.
Oh. Okay. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. I don't think that's enough. No, it's not.
So the ones you got wrong, Chris. Who is known as the Seasiders? It's Blackpool.
Blackpool. Yeah.
Which club has won the most FA Cups? It's Arsenal. And the Barcelona manager is Hansi Flick.
Flick. Yeah. So I'm on 15. Sam's on 16.5. So
How many have I got to get?
So I was on 9.5. So he needs 7 to draw. Sam's pulled an absolute. Oh, I can't believe this. Right then. Let me know when you're ready, Sam.
Read it.
3, 2, 1. Who is the all-time goal scorer for the Brazil men's national team?
Pele.
No. Which ex-Manchester United manager is now manager of Austria?
Oh, Ten Hag.
No. Which country wears all orange home kit?
Holland.
Correct. How many yards away is a penalty spot from the goal line?
12.
Yeah. What colour home kits do Boca Juniors wear?
Blue.
And
Yellow.
yeah. Which governing body rules world football?
FIFA.
Yeah. How long is the half-time interval?
15 minutes.
Yeah. Which player has the most caps? England caps.
Chilton.
Yeah. Which Dutch club won the Champions League in 1995?
Ajax.
Yeah. Which team plays at Ellen Road?
Leeds.
Correct. That's it. And from an absolutely abysmal start, absolutely terrible start, he's managed to get 8, hasn't he?
I can't believe that, how badly I did at the start. And then the sound went funny when you were talking about
Yeah.
Boca Juniors. I was like, what? I couldn't barely hear it.
So the end of that round is me on 15, Sam on 16.5, and Al on 16. So Sam, you're no joking. Al, you're the winner on 17.5. Well done, mate.
What was the 2 questions I got wrong?
So you went Neymar, not Pele,
Oh, okay.
and Ralph Rangnick.
Ah, yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
But no, that was good. Like for our socials, if you want to email us, it's footyandthat@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. We'll put out our clips as well. What will we be doing next week, guys? What shall we do? You know, now that the full leagues are going to be up and running, what
That's
shall
first-
we?
Talking about the first week of the
First
Premier League
week.
season. Who's impressed? Who's
Who's not? Yeah, and go
Who's
from there. That's great.
I'll have to Leicester City 2 minutes.
Of course, we can't forget that as well. The 2-minute moan there about Leicester.
Oh, hopefully not. Hopefully it was just like, yeah.
Well, it's
Right.
the mighty Burton this weekend,
Mm.
isn't it? Yeah. Right then,
Oh, yeah.
guys. Thanks a lot for coming.
thank you?
See you next week. See you in a
Bye.
bit.
Bye.
Bye.